This is the second video of a pair of videos about using the sum and difference formulas to help us evaluate sort of trig functions. So notice up top here we've got two different angles. We've got the angle u, and what we know about the angle u is that it's between pi over 2 and pi. So basically it's in quadrant 2. And we know that the value of the sine of u is 7/25. So what I'm going to do is over here at the left, I'm going to draw a nice triangle out into quadrant 2 where the sine would be positive. And I know that my, again, opposite over hypotenuse is going to be 7/25. Now, that means we're probably going to need the third side of this triangle. So what I would imagine is, again, 25 squared is 625 equal to 49 plus, we'll just call it x squared. 625 minus 49, and I'm going to go ahead and hop on my calculator just to quicken up the process. But 625 minus 49 is 576, and the square root, right, of 576 is simply 24. So let's head back to our screen here. I know that this other side is 24, although we're definitely over in quadrant 2, so let's call it negative 24. Let's do the same thing for the v. Again, this was angle u. This is going to be angle v over here. So again, v is between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi, which means it's definitely down in quadrant 4. And what I want to do is just represent that triangle. Cosine of v is 4/5. So adjacent over hypotenuse. And that's much easier to do. Again, that looks a lot like a 3, 4, 5 triangle, right? Hypotenuse of 5. And again, we went down into quadrant 4. So we've got our third side already. Now, what we really want to find is this statement in the middle here, right? The cosine of u plus v. I don't know the value of u and I don't know the value of v, but I don't need to. If we want to find the cosine of u plus v, let's use our sum formula. The cosine of the first angle times the cosine of the second. Remember that cosine is the only one that the sign doesn't stay the same. So again, addition is going to become subtraction. The sine of the first angle times the sine of the second. So now let's find our values here. The cosine of u is negative 24 over 25 times the cosine of v. Well, now remember, go to our picture at the right over here. Cosine of v, which actually was a given, is 4 over 5. So we're just going to say this is 4/5 minus the sine of u, again that's 7/25, and sine of v. So the sine of v from our picture would be opposite over hypotenuse, and we'd be in good shape there. If we do a little bit of multiplying, this is going to be negative 96 over 125 minus, again, 7 times negative 3 would be a negative 21. So let's just call this plus 21 over 125. Since we have a nice common denominator there, negative 96 plus 21 would be negative 75 over 125. Which is really negative 3/5. All there is to it. Let's take a look at one more example real quick. And the nice part is our two triangles are exactly the same. Notice I kind of kept our formulas there to save us a little bit of time. So again, let's just make sure we draw out over into quadrant 2. Doesn't have to be super accurate, but we do want to make sure that we label our sides 7, 25, and negative 24. And again, down in quadrant 4, right, was angle v this time. Make sure you keep track of which angle is which. But angle v was 4 and 5 for the adjacent and the hypotenuse, negative 3 for the opposite. Well, the tangent of u is a little messier than previous. So we're going to do our big fraction here. We're going to do the tangent of the first angle. And again, we want to make sure we remember tangent of u minus v. Well, we're going to keep that sign, tangent of u minus the tangent of v. We might have to look that one up, but again, that's our tangent difference formula over 1 plus tan u, tan v. So now let's fill in what we know. The tangent of u is opposite over adjacent, so negative 7/24 minus tangent of v, well, negative 3/4, so let's call that plus 3/4 over 1 plus, basically those same two numbers multiplied. Remember that they were both negative when we started there. So let's do a little arithmetic work here. Okay. I might have to multiply by 6/6 here real quick, so that we've got negative 7 plus 18 would be 11/24 divided by 1, again this stays plus 21/96. Again, mostly just arithmetic work going on here, but we've got 11/24 times the reciprocal of the bottom. Now if we think of that as 96/96, that's what, 117? So we're going to multiply by its reciprocal. I'm going to put that 96 on top, 117 on the bottom, and keep things rolling here. Nice part is 24 goes into 96. That's where we got that 96 from. So that actually just becomes a 4. And I believe this is 44 over 117, of which I don't believe those have any common terms. And that'll be our answer. Again, the tricky part of the whole bunch, just a bunch of fraction work, but really we just need to figure out which function are we working with, fill in its values from our pictures above, and then basically do some arithmetic work. Try to stay as exact as possible though. Again, decimals on your calculator are great and all, but I'd much rather have a nice solid exact value ratio to answer our question. Hope that helps you with, again, sum and difference formulas, and if you have any questions, talk to your teacher. Otherwise, good luck, have fun, and have a great day.